So, Michael, you've played a few roles where you're a woman in the scene or on stage. What's that like? What's your approach to it? I'm sure each one of those is different.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's more. I know I've played three women for sure. The very first show I did was a Shakespeare show, or the very first equity union show I did was a Shakespeare show, and so I played Nell the kitchen wench. The director of that called up my parents and made sure it was okay I was in a dress because I was only 17, I think. So he was just making sure that that wouldn't offend them or anything. I was doing Rocky Horror at the time, so they were like, it's fine. He's already wearing mascara in the show he's in right now, so go for it. And that lady, that lady wasn't... I didn't have to get at the core of playing a lady. I was yelling a comedic Shakespearean line and chasing a guy around the stage trying to kiss him. You know, I would say the female role that I've played that was the most encompassing in really trying to get into the psyche of a lady was Hairspray. I got to play the mom, Edna, in Hairspray at the Iverton Playhouse. It was the same year Spider-Man came out. Because I actually came out for the premiere, and I had to fly out the next morning because I had a tech rehearsal in Connecticut. So, yeah, that one was cool because, so you're playing, she's a woman. You're not playing a gay man. She's a woman with motherly instincts who just loves her daughter more than life itself and wants to see her succeed. You know, so she has that very maternal, like, I will do anything for my baby kind of thing, you know. But what's fun about that role is you play those maternal instincts, you play that woman, but through the voice and body of a man. You know, this was how my Edna talked. I mean, I may have camped it up a little bit, you know, she may have gotten a little Harvey Fierstein on some lines. But it really adds to the comedy of that role when you have these very delicate and loving maternal instincts being delivered in a gruff voice, you know, saying things. I'm trying to think of the lines where he's just like, oh, my baby, you know, like just anything like that is funny coming from a guy when it has that heart behind it.
And in the film, was that played by Divine?
In the film, it was Divine,
Mm-hmm.
and then John Travolta in the new movie, and then Harvey Fierstein did it most famously on stage. I think he won the Tony for it, but yeah.
Did you watch the original when you...
I had seen the original company on Broadway. I saw Harvey Fierstein do it there. I had seen the original movie. Yeah, I guess I'd seen all three of them. Mm-hmm. I was trying to think, because I know I saw the John Travolta one, and I did see the original movie, yeah. Right. But I would say, if I was influenced by any previous performances, it was for sure Harvey Fierstein. I think my performance was probably most closely to him, but I like to think I, did my own thing with it.
Right. But. So it sounds like it just depends on the role, like from a Mrs. Doubtfire to, something that it just depends on who the person is as that woman.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's one of the things with any role that you play is you can't really judge them, because as soon as you say this is a bad person or this is a silly person or this, then you're only attacking them you're only thinking about that character from that one aspect of it, rather than just this is a person, and just trying to, it's again with like playing at something rather than playing something, does that make sense? Or
yeah, but I'd like to hear more about it. That's
yeah,
playing at something.
So what was the original question? Because I feel like I rambled again there.
And my question's a little vague, I realize that, but I mean, what is it like to play a woman? But I guess you're right, it depends because there's so many different types of men and women, so it depends. You're playing a very strong motherly figure who's very protective of her daughter, versus I know you played, what was it, in one of Marty's short films, a transvestite shopaholic?
Yeah, that was in a short film written by Marty Lang, for the Kinetic Film Industry Training Program. It's a mouthful.
Nice.
But yeah, that was called Time's Up, and I played a transvestite who had a shopping addiction. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, playing a woman role, I don't approach any differently than playing any role, because every role is different, you know? So just grouping the women roles together, all three that I've played have been totally different from each other, you know? So I guess I approached each one a different way.
Sure.
I know that my Edna in Hairspray was very heavily inspired by my mother, because I see a lot of similarities between them. You know, she's a very, mama bear who will protect her young, you know, and so I took a lot of inspiration from her for that. With the Shakespeare one, I don't even think I was 16, 17. I didn't know how to dive into a role and get it. I was just screaming in a silly voice for that one, you know. But then for the transvestite role, that one was actually, that performance was helped a lot by the director, Richard Dobbs, because I came into that one thinking, okay, this is the comedic relief in this, so I'm going to camp her up. She's a tranny, so I'm going to, you know. And he was like, no, just play it. He was like, I don't want any, just say the line. He was like, just, because what are those lines are, I think, I'd say, I can't stop shopping. And he says, I think you have a problem. And I say, I know. And he says, do you know what it is? And I just say, shoes. And so that's originally the first couple takes, I was like, shoes, like, you know, really camping it up. And then we got to the point where he was like, you're a person. Your problem, you truly believe, is shoes. Deliver it with the urgency of saying, you know what your problem is, OCD, or you know what your problem is, diabetes. Say it like shoes is your disease. And getting at it from that more realistic side of it, rather than campy, I think made it 10 times funnier, you know.
Right, instead of being, again, that heightened version.
Yeah.
You're just, you're being real. Interesting.
And I think that aids in all comedy, like acting-wise. You have to approach that all from the side of truth, rather than playing at the joke. You play the moment, you know, rather than saying, okay, this is where the punchline is, and so I need to land that. You just say, this is what the moment is. This is what what he's feeling in that moment, rather than here's the joke I'm delivering, you know.